Okay, well, I'm here with Brian and Glen, just chatting about Gentlemint, the new site they've developed. And first of all, if you could just start by introducing yourselves and maybe talk about your roles in the project, what you each were responsible for.
Sure. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm Glen Stansberry. I'm a designer for the project. And my role is to make sure stuff looks okay, but...
I'm Brian Mckinney. I did all the development work on the site, and I've been a web designer and developer for about 10 years now, and here in Lawrence, Kansas. Yeah, that's it.
Great. Well, the next question then is obviously, what is Gentlemint? Maybe you could just talk a little bit about the site, and it's got an interesting background, and we'll touch on that separately. But first of all, just what is Gentlemint, and maybe you could just show us around the site a little bit as well.
Sure.
Sure, yeah. Gentlemint is a site based around the idea of just kind of adding interesting content. And the Gentlemint thing is kind of, the content is a manly type content. You know, things like cars and you know, boxers and things like that that are kind of interesting to us, or interesting or funny, or, you know,
mustache types.
Yeah, right. Useful to manly men is the idea of the site. And generally, you just kind of, you go there, you find an interesting thing that you want to share with kind of like-minded individuals, and you post a link to Gentlemint, and a ton of people get to see it and see what you like, see what you think is interesting. And yeah, that's the idea of the site.
You just mentioned or touched on the interesting background of this project, and something I know is you talked about this being a 12-hour project for you initially. Maybe you could explain a little about that and how that came about, and it'd be interesting to know what you completed in that first 12 hours and what you've refined since then.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay,
cool. So yeah, we had actually been previously working on another project for quite a while, and we were kind of at this point where we were just kind of, not necessarily burnt out, but just kind of a little sick of it at the time being, and we had the idea, you know, what if we just took one day and saw what we could crank out, just a simple idea, see what would happen in a single day. And so ahead of time we planned a lot of details of what we were going to do, picked the, you know, like one of 5 different ideas. We picked the Gentlemint theme, and then like we divvied up tasks. So I was going to take the design, Brian's going to take the programming, and basically we took a feature set that we wanted to accomplish and like cut it in half, and then cut that in half, and then that's what we decided on. And then, and then at that point, we just...
So essentially, we started out the day by saying, okay, we're going to do, you know, these 5 features, and halfway through the day, we were like, oh crap, we're not even going to get close to that. But what ended up happening is we did create the core functionality, which is, you know, add your link, you know, add an image. We had that core functionality in place at the end of the day, and we published it that night. And then since then, we've just kind of, the things that we've refined are just that core thing, just make that one thing better and better and better. I think that weekend, it was almost like an obsession for me, because we finished, we spent 12 hours that day, and then the next day I woke up and I just wanted to make it better. And so by the end of that weekend, I had refined that process and made it a little bit better. And then we started using the site over the next couple of weeks, and we were just excited by it and kind of just making each other laugh. And out of that kind of grew the feature set that we have, the liking things and commenting, and you know, all those things just kind of grew out of us like trying to refine those core concepts.
It kind of turned into a game.
Yeah, actually, it was just like, make each other laugh and see what kind of fun we can have.
The actual day that we took off time from work and from our day job, which we actually work at together. And we took time off, and we had we went and tried to pick out the manliest lunch we could find, and had this whole theme, and it was just fun. We had fun with it.
I grew a beard.
Yeah, so. He grew a beard. It was awesome, and I wish he still had it. But yeah, that was pretty much how that came about. That was the 12-hour process. And, you know, we keep getting asked, you know, did you actually build the entire site in 12 hours? I'm like, well, no.
Just the core functionality.
But it worked, and it was live, and that was actually the big catalyst for us to see it going. Whereas on our other project, I mean, nothing's live per se. I mean, it kind of is, but there's nobody
Yeah.
using it. And,
We just got in a situation with this other project where we were just trying to overthink things way too much, and this kind of forces you to just, hey, just do it. It sort of works. Put it out there and see what happens, and then refine it from there. And we've only had the site for a little over a month now, and so it's been a really quick process, but I think it's gotten a lot better over the last month, and a lot more fun to work with. So.
Yeah.
And you're talking a lot about the fun you're having with this. It was kind of, you were feeling burned out. It was something you seemed like you were doing it for yourselves more than anything at the time. Did you ever, when you sat down to start this project, think it would be something that you would put out to the public at some point, or was it really for that personal reasons?
I think it's probably a mixture of both. I mean, I think as we were creating it just kind of for ourselves because we were burnt out on this other project, we got started on it, and then we started having fun with it, and we were like, you know what, this would actually be kind of fun for other people to use. So I think at that point we started kind of thinking, okay, well, we should probably open this up and have other people use it. But it was always just kind of about ourselves and like what we were interested in and like trying to make each other laugh and stuff like that. That was the whole genesis of the site was that concept. And the thing is with that, I think if we really enjoy the site and we have fun with it, there's going to be a lot of other people that will. So
Yeah, if we're going to take our spare time to build something,
right.
We better be having fun while we're doing it. So, yeah.
And that's cool. And with the tech side of things, for people that are interested in that, could you talk a little about that? Obviously, Lawrence, Kansas is a home of a lot of open source, the home of Django.
Yeah.
Is that what you use? Could you talk a little about the tech side?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did all the development, which is the tech stuff, and I'll get into that in a second. But I did want to say that one of the most important parts of the site is the design aspect of it. And that part's not technical, but it's really integral to the site. And Glen did a fantastic job of, there's a lot of his personality in the site, which I think makes it very compelling. I mean, when you go and you like something, you've got a mustache that curls up when you like it. Stuff like that, I think, makes it really great. And that's really kind of the secret behind the site. But as far as the tech stuff goes, yeah, we built it on a platform called Django. It's a very popular web framework that is based on the Python programming language. Both open source, has a great open source community. I started developing with Django about 5 years ago. And in my day job, I'm a designer, so I don't do any programming. So kind of over the last several years, I've just been doing a lot of side projects. And Django is a fantastic web framework. It's only gotten better over the last several years, and there's some huge sites that run on it. So it's a tool set I'm really comfortable with, and I like the most. I've used every type of programming language there is. I've used Perl, I've used PHP, I've used Java, I used .NET, and when I started working with Django, I really kind of fell in love with web development again. It actually had that feeling of, oh yeah, this is why I got into this, is to have fun and build things. So you can kind of see that personality coming through in the site too, is we were able to get together and in a day, with the help of Django, build out a fully functional site that does all this stuff. No way we could have done that, before Django or anything like that. So it's based on Django and a lot of kind of open source stuff that grew out of the Django community. And then we have Postgres database, so all open source software, and then stuff that we custom made for Gentlemint. So
yeah,
that's great. And now looking at the site, there's going to be some obvious comparisons to Pintrest, although obviously Pintrest is not quite so manly. So I'm interested, kind of, as you went that direction, what you're doing to make this unique, how does it stand apart? What makes this different? And kind of the second part of that, while this is a site for manly men, do you have any women, that sign up for the beta? Do you allow women? And what would you do if somebody started posting, quote, frilly content on the site?
Yeah, I can say a little bit.
Okay.
So, Pinterest was definitely a inspiration. But as I think people look at the site and they see that it has a similar layout and things like that, and they're like, oh, this is like Pinterest. But there are also a lot of other sites that we were kind of influenced by, and that we're kind of interested in doing similar things to. So it does have a similar feel to Pinterest, but I think the difference really comes in is Pinterest really isn't about adding stuff or whatever. It really is about a community of people and the type of content that they add. And
it's expression.
Yeah, it's like Pinterest as a whole is a community of people, and that's what we want to build too. We want to build a community of people, but we just have a different type of content on our site. And the difference really is, we have more manly stuff, and Pinterest is, there's a lot of more girly stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Not our niche.
Completely, we're completely on board with that. But what would happen would be we'd go to Pinterest or something like that, or we kept hearing about it, and we'd go there and we'd look around and we'd be like, man, this is cool, but I don't really want to put stuff here because I feel weird about all the, so we kind of wanted a place that was ours, that we could,
I don't think it's unfair to say that Pinterest it's not built for men.
Right.
We wanted something that was built for men.
Right.
But that said, are we going to answer the second part?
Yeah.
Okay. That said, it's been really surprising watching the signups that have come in and getting feedback. And one of the main questions is, do you allow women? Somebody even asked if we had like an algorithm to find out, is this person a woman? If so, deny access and all this stuff. And we're like, that'd be funny, but no, we actually don't. And as a matter of fact, we have had I want to say 30 to 40% of signups have been women.
Yeah.
Which is fine. All we care about is the type of content that's posted. So.
Yeah, it really has nothing to do with being a guy or a girl. It's just about kind of encouraging that set of content, and it's not related to, anything like that. We want to have anybody on the site that wants to use the site or is interested in the site. We absolutely want to have that.
Yeah.
And as far as posting content, users can post whatever they want. The only thing that we kind of monitor or keep an eye on is the public-facing stuff on the site, like the homepage. And things like that. So if there was a lot of, girly content coming through there,
kittens,
things like
shower caps,
the shower caps. That would be. We would probably just make sure that it's not getting highly publicized on the site. But you can post it if you want, and we're totally cool with that. So
and it's been kind of cool that as we're talking about manly stuff, we have the sound of power tools.
Construction going on, yeah.
So what's next for you guys? You've got the site up and running, it's in beta. How long are you looking at being in beta for? What are your goals? And are we going to see additional functionality added? Are we going to see a mobile app? What do we expect next?
So the beta process has been fun because while the site was actually live the day that we built it, we didn't necessarily shout it to the world because it wasn't something that anybody would really like at that point. It was there, it worked, and it looked okay, but we weren't proud of. We were proud of what we did in a day, but not proud of launching a website. And so as we iterated on top of that in our spare time, because we have day jobs, and so in our spare time we iterated on top of it and just kind of kept improving it. We actually haven't got around to a full-fledged launch until 2 days ago, kind of.
Yeah.
And then so the beta, so we're in beta, but we didn't, like I said, this has kind of been a hodgepodge, kind of just do as much as we can. We're really focusing on the core product.
Yeah.
We put our time there, and so for the beta process, we have an email field, but that is kind of very manual at this point. So we're manually adding people. And so if we get a big, a much larger surge of traffic than we've already been getting, it's going to be pretty hard to stay on top of. Actually, it's already hard to stay on top of. My hand hurts from copy pasting.
Yeah. If you get an invite, it's like a handcrafted invite from one of us. So
you're welcome.
And how long are we going to be in beta? Essentially, we have no idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, we just don't even know what's going on at this point. We've had a tremendous response to the site, and it was more than we even expected. So. Like I said, it kind of grew out of, hey, let's just have some fun with this. We should invite some people. And then one day it just got really popular. So
the next day.
Yeah. So we're really trying to figure this stuff out as we go. So we have no idea how long we're going to be in beta. Essentially for the foreseeable future until we have, we're comfortable about our feature set enough to just say anybody can sign up. But for now, it's an invite-only process. Like I said, you'll get an invite from us if you register the site, and yeah. As far as features, yes, we are actively working on some new features. We don't have plans for a mobile app at the moment. Like Glen mentioned, we have day jobs, so these things kind of have to grow in our spare time. Right now, we're really kind of focusing on the core functionality of the site. We really want to make the the things that you do on the site really great, and then kind of branch that out as we go. One of the things we're working on right now, which will probably be in there in the next couple weeks, is categorization of content. Right now, we just kind of like everything gets dropped into one big bucket of everything, but we're kind of finding how people are using the site. A lot of people are interested in, specifying what type of content and where it goes and all those things.
And searching for specific types of
Yeah,
content as well.
Absolutely. So that's one of the first things we're going to add in, and then we're going to also add in a few more social things so that people can create relationships on the site and stuff like that. Those are kind of the immediate future plans, and then we just kind of want to wait and see what happens. We have some ideas about where the site can go from a functionality standpoint, but we also kind of want to hang back and see how people use it and what they want to do on the site. And we're going to build around that, what people are interested in doing on the site. So,
have you been surprised by the extent of that initial response? It seems like it's kind of taken you off guard, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's been actually unreal. We had, I think, we've had a lot of interview requests, and a lot of people are linking it up. We're getting some publication. Word is today that Mashable is going to actually be putting an article out about it. So we were informed ahead of time so as not to bring our server to its knees. It's just surreal, like all this happened. I think that's all great, but the biggest thing is that the American Mustache Institute named us one of the manliest sites on the planet. So, as far as, it's all kind of downhill from here, actually.
We've pretty much peaked.
It's kind of a letdown, What do you do? Where do you go
after that?
So,
no, but it definitely did take us by surprise. I think that when we were building the site and having fun with it, we thought people would probably like to use this, and we thought
we like it.
Yeah, and we thought, someday we'll have a lot of users, but I don't think it really hit me. I think the other night we were talking about it. And we were talking about, we had a few users on the site, small group of users, and I was talking to Glen about adding more people. We need to get more people on the site and all this stuff. And then I looked at it and I thought, there's going to be a day where we're going to say, God, I wish we had less users on the site. And then 2 days later, it was like, oh my gosh, we're at that point right now. So
we're just trying to handle things.
Yeah, essentially we're just trying to keep the site up and running at this point while we figure out what the heck to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty amazing, and it's exciting to see yet another success story from here in Lawrence. People forget how much innovation comes from the very heart of the country.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see where this goes, and thank you both for your time
this
morning. And it's gentlemint.com.
Gentlemint.com.
Same on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you, and exciting to see where things go next.
Thanks,
man.
Thanks, man.